My uncle worked as a sound engineer for Nickelodeon from 1999 to 2005. He was there during SpongeBob's first season, mixing dialogue and adding sound effects in post-production. He loved that job. Every Sunday dinner, he'd tell us stories about the voice actors, the writers, the creative chaos of making children's television. He was proud of his work. In 2004, he stopped talking about it. He stopped coming to family dinners. When my aunt finally dragged him to Thanksgiving, he looked like he'd aged 10 years. His hand shook when he reached for his water glass. My mom asked if he was okay. He said he was fine, but he wasn't fine. He quit Nickelodeon in January 2005, took a job mixing commercials for a local radio station, massive pay cut. We didn't understand why. He wouldn't explain. For 11 years, he wouldn't explain. Then in 2016, he had a stroke. Not fatal, but serious enough that he spent 2 weeks in the hospital. I visited him on a Tuesday afternoon. He was alone in his room staring at the muted television. When he saw me, he grabbed my hand. His grip was surprisingly strong. "I need to tell someone," he whispered. "Before I die, I need someone to know what I saw." He told me about an episode that came through his mixing bay in October 2004. It was labeled Squidward's Suicide in the production notes, but everyone assumed that was a joke title. The show did that sometimes, giving episodes darkly comedic working titles that would be changed before broadcast. The episode was supposed to be about Squidward's failed clarinet recital. The rough cut came to him on a Friday afternoon. No director present, which was unusual. Just a note. "Mix as is. Do not edit. Send to review by Monday." He loaded the file and started watching. The episode opened on Squidward preparing for his recital. Standard animation, standard voice acting. Squidward was nervous but excited. SpongeBob and Patrick were in the audience, along with dozens of other Bikini Bottom residents. Squidward walked on stage. He raised his clarinet. He began to play. The music was awful, but not cartoon awful, not the squeaky, off-key comedy noise Squidward usually made. This was genuinely distressing, dissonant. Notes that didn't belong in any scale played with a desperate intensity. The audience's expressions changed. They weren't annoyed, they were disturbed. Someone in the crowd yelled, "Get off the stage!" Others joined in, not the playful heckling of a typical SpongeBob episode, real cruelty, vicious mockery. The animation showed their faces in detail, mouths twisted in disgust, eyes filled with contempt. Squidward kept playing. His eyes were closed. He couldn't see them, or he didn't want to see them. The music stopped. Squidward opened his eyes. The entire audience was staring at him in silence. Then, one by one, they started to leave. Not booing, not laughing, just leaving, quietly, efficiently. Within 30 seconds, the auditorium was empty. Squidward stood alone on the stage, clarinet in hand. The camera held on his face. In any normal SpongeBob episode, this would last maybe 3 seconds before cutting to the next scene. My uncle said the shot held for 22 seconds. Squidward's expression didn't change. He just stood there, staring at the empty seats. Then he started crying. Real crying, not exaggerated cartoon crying. His eyes produced tears that ran down his face in thin, realistic streams. The animation style changed. Someone had drawn Squidward's face with photorealistic detail. Every tear, every wrinkle, every blood vessel in his eyes rendered with disturbing clarity. The camera slowly zoomed in on his face. My uncle said he could hear breathing on the audio track. Squidward's breathing, ragged, uneven, the kind of breathing someone does when they're trying very hard not to completely break down. The zoom continued, closer, closer, until Squidward's eyes filled the entire screen, those realistic, bloodshot eyes. The camera focused on the left eye, the pupil dilated, and in the reflection of the pupil for just 2 frames, there was an image. My uncle paused the video, enhanced the image, zoomed in. It was a photograph, a real photograph, black and white, a child's corpse. My uncle wouldn't describe it in detail, but he said it was clear the child was dead, and it was clear the death had not been peaceful. He sat in his mixing bay staring at that frame for almost 10 minutes. Then he kept watching. The scene cut to Squidward's house. Interior. Bedroom. Squidward was sitting on his bed, still crying. The photorealistic detail remained. Every tear, every tremor. The animation was so smooth it looked like live-action footage that had been rotoscoped. Squidward stood up, walked to his bathroom, opened the medicine cabinet. The shot was framed like a documentary. No comedic timing, no exaggeration, just a depressed person moving through their home with mechanical precision. He pulled out a revolver. My uncle stopped the video. This couldn't be real. This couldn't be something Nickelodeon had produced, even as a dark joke. He checked the file metadata. It had been rendered by the studio's standard animation software. The voice track was Tom Kenny and Roger Bumpass. The production codes matched the season's official episodes. He should have deleted it, should have called his supervisor, should have refused to work on it, but he didn't. He kept watching. Squidward held the gun, turned it over in his hands. The animation showed every detail of the weapon, the cylinder, the hammer, the trigger. It looked real, too real. My uncle said he could identify the make and model, a cult detective special, 6 shots. The audio changed. A low hum started, almost subliminal, and under the hum, voices, whispering. My uncle couldn't make out the words, but the tone was clear. Mocking, judging, telling Squidward exactly what he was worth. Squidward put the gun to his head. The camera zoomed in on his face again. He looked directly at the camera, directly at my uncle, and he smiled. Not a happy smile, a resigned smile. The smile of someone who has made a decision they can't unmake. The screen went red, just red, pure red, filled the entire screen. My uncle said the red pulsed slightly like a heartbeat, and the whispering got louder. He could almost make out words now. Do it, do it. What? Do it. A sound, a single gunshot, realistic, not a cartoon sound effect. The red screen turned black. 5 seconds of black. Then Squidward's bedroom reappeared. Everything was normal, standard SpongeBob animation style. Squidward was lying in bed, sleeping peacefully. His alarm clock went off. He woke up, stretched, and started his day. The episode continued with a normal storyline about Squidward trying to sell his clarinet at a pawn shop. The episode ended normally. Credits rolled. My uncle sat in silence. He checked the production notes again. Mix as is, do not edit, send to review by Monday. He exported the file, sent it to the review department, went home. That weekend, he barely slept. Monday morning, he came into work early, checked his email. One message from the review department. Its file corrupted. Please re-export and resubmit. He opened the original file. It wouldn't load. Error message. File not found. He checked the project folder. The episode was gone. Completely gone. No backup, no render files, no audio stems, nothing. He asked around, did anyone else work on Squidward Suicide? Blank stares. No one had heard of it. He checked the production schedule. That episode number was assigned to a completely different story. Something about SpongeBob and Patrick building a sandcastle. My uncle told his supervisor about the missing file. The supervisor checked the logs. According to the system, my uncle had spent 6 hours on Friday mixing an episode that didn't exist. The supervisor suggested he take a few days off. Stress, long hours, easy to get confused. My uncle never saw the episode again, but he started seeing the red. When he closed his eyes, when he was alone in quiet rooms, a pulsing red like a heartbeat. And sometimes, in that red, he could see Squidward's face, smiling that resigned smile. He couldn't work on SpongeBob anymore, couldn't work on animation. Every time he saw a cartoon, he'd remember the realistic tears, the detailed gun, the photograph and the reflection. In the hospital, holding my hand, he asked me if I believed him. I said I did. He nodded. Good, he whispered, because I need someone to remember. If it happened to me, it might happen to someone else. And they need to know. If you see the red mist, if you see Squidward crying with real tears, stop watching. Delete it. Burn it. Don't let it finish. He closed his eyes. The heart monitor beeped steadily. I sat with him until visiting hours ended. He recovered from the stroke. Lives in Arizona now. We don't talk about SpongeBob. We don't talk about what he saw, but sometimes late at night he calls me. Doesn't say anything. Just breathes into the phone. And I know he's seeing the red again. I know he's seeing Squidward's smile. And I wonder if that episode is still out there somewhere, waiting in an unlabeled file, waiting for someone else to watch it, waiting to show them what happens when the red mist comes.